Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Rise and Grind with VinceTagliavia, live with you every Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time to talk about the news and current events and such, and just stay on track of what's going on in our crazy Wonderland world. Today's episode is called Can Wonderland Get Any Stranger? Can any more happen? I mean, I feel like we've already maxed out on things happening, multiple large events per day, maybe some of which are slipping by the wayside, and you'll learn about for the first time this morning. Just absolutely blowing my mind. It really is. And we're going to talk about these things. So good morning. Good to see y'all. And this is me, by the way, in the chat here, laughing in Wonderland on DLive. Just so you know. Okay. Anyway, we're going to get right into things and then carry on with our days. By the way, if I disconnect suddenly, I apologize. We have a crazy windstorm right now, and it's been off and on for the last week, but up to 65-mile-per-hour gusts. I could hear the trees right now just outside. I've got a lot of big trees around me, so not right above me, but we could have some power lines go down and things like this, just so you guys know. And we had some issues last night with power, so I wouldn't be surprised. But with that said, let's get into it. We're going to start with a little bit of finance here, and then we'll carry on. We've got some big stuff to talk about. This is just nuts, and I'm really excited to see the rest of the day today on how this continues to unfold. But first, let's just look at the market, all right? The market's down today. It's in the red. S&P 500's down 0.27. Etc. We've got just barely in the red here. Gold is 2,033, silver $23.16, Bitcoin 46,800. And of course, Kramer came out and says that Bitcoin is topping out. This is it, folks. Doesn't get better than this. Sell, sell, sell. Cash out your Bitcoin as we hit these highs. Obviously, the highs of the year, but almost approaching some all-time highs. In 2021, Bitcoin went upwards of $65,000. And right now it's on its way. It's going to be volatile. It's going to go up. It's going to go down, you guys. It is risky, but it's just funny that Kramer comes out and says it's topping out, which everyone's saying, it's really going to the moon. Bitcoin, Kramer just confirmed because of the inverse Kramer effect and everything he says. The opposite always happens in a crazy force, just like Boeing crashing. Good morning, Quiet Toad. And good morning, everybody. Lori Slum, good to see you. Let's get into things here. And by the way, I did my very first live stream on Twitch last night. And it's kind of just a fun little recreational channel that I have over there. It's called the Vince Show 2024, and it's just my I guess it's a gaming channel, but really all I'm doing, I don't really play video games, but I'm playing chess over there. So if you like chess, you could even challenge me sometimes. It'll probably be a weekend thing. In my spare time, I'm just gonna stream myself playing chess and just learning the game. I'm a beginner. My rating's like 600 or 700, and it's fun. I enjoyed it. It went well, so check it out. I had a lot of fun last night doing that. All right. And you can find it on my website if you need the link. If you go to my website in the description, it's all linked up. Anyway, onward here. Finance. Gosh, I don't know if can you guys hear the wind coming through the mic? It is so loud. But we've got layoffs. Of course, the job data comes out. Oh, everything's great. And they're using all these fantastic words. But the reality is no, as pointed out here, this is not great. Genevieve Rockdector says, I keep seeing huge layoff announcements. But what is going on here? But the government keeps telling us the unemployment rate is at historical lows. BlackRock's firing 3% of their workforce. Unity Software slashing 25%. Google restructuring ad division, potentially impacting 20%. Front desk terminates entire staff via 2-minute Google Meet call. Something's got to give. Either layoffs halt or the employment rate rises. So we're seeing these layoffs, just story after story every week and week after week. It's not just, these big companies aren't just having one round of layoffs. It's just layoff after layoff after layoff. So they spin it as it's all wonderful, everything's perfect, but in reality, a lot of people are dropping out of the workforce, getting multiple jobs, and the data is proven to be manipulated again and again as they keep releasing it. And then China has been seeing a real bad time. China stocks have fallen to their lowest price in 5 years, and they're still searching for a green day this year. It's just been doom and gloom in the Chinese market. And here's the chart here from 2019 to 2023. You can see on the very right-hand side is today, just these lows and a losing streak for 2024 as it pertains to China and their the CSI China 300 index. So we'll keep our eye on these things. We saw Boeing absolutely crashing yesterday. And actually, let's go look at their stock price today. I guarantee you it's in the red. I didn't look at that this morning yet. It's down almost 1% this morning. And yesterday it had a steep drop off, going from about 248 down to 228 just in pre-market trading alone, and then dipping down even at the end of the day further. This is because of their incident that happened on one of their flights where a panel flew off, depressurizing the cabin, causing an emergency landing. And we've got more on this. You had United Airlines come out yesterday saying that they found loose bolts on plug doors on multiple 737 MAX. They said 9 aircraft were affected during inspections. Not good. And then you had Alaska Airlines just revealing that it too has found loose bolts on 737 MAX 9s in its fleet. Oh, it's not 9 aircraft. It's the 737 MAX 9. I'm sorry, my mistake. But yes, so United and Alaska are both finding loose bolts in their fleets. Not good. And I'm surprised. I mean, I guess it's already priced in and the damage is done with just a 1%. Well, now an over 1% drop for Boeing this morning. It's just a horrible situation for them. And I talked about this a little bit last year, that I don't have a lot of confidence in our industry. I think that a lot of people left and that they're trying to make things work. And I think that corners get cut. I think that corners get cut everywhere. And I think the skilled labor is also lacking in a lot of places, including aerospace, and that this is probably going to become an issue or continue to be an issue as we move forward. And that's just my opinion and based on just personal experience. I don't know. I'm just me. Thank you, FBI Mom, for the generous donations over there on D Live. Thank you so much. Good morning. And I hope you're doing well this morning. Oh, it looks like they've got wind in Ontario, Canada too. Can you guys hear this? It's pretty wild. It's quite windy. All right, onward. We're going to get through this because the real juicy stuff is not in the stock market. Although there is some other news I want to tell you. Elon Musk's X is preparing to launch peer-to-peer payments this year. And I think that's going to coincide with the live streaming and all of this, and likely can involve cryptocurrency as often speculated. And Elon has shown interest in that as well. Dogecoin being one of his favorite meme cryptocurrencies. Maybe he involves that in some kind of tipping apparatus for live streams or Maybe he connects all crypto and allows integration of various things like PayPal, and who knows what he's going to do. Maybe he creates his own bank, essentially. But this is going to be huge for X, and people are going to flock. I mean, it's going to be great. He's about to make a lot of money. Pardon me. This was an interesting story I just wanted to mention. Car makers are lobbying against an extraordinary push by U.S. regulators to force a recall of as many as 52 million airbags. And this could happen in 2024 per Bloomberg. In December, they reported. This could cost car manufacturers $10 billion. And they're lobbying against this push by U.S. regulators. And you got to ask yourself why, right? Oh, man, U.S. regulators must really care about our safety and airbags. And what exactly is the issue with these airbags is my question. 52 million of them, right? Oh, they care about us so much, don't they? Or is it really just about the lobbying and the money? Maybe they're just milking the car industry for everything they got. And this is kind of like a blackmail situation of they're like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it unless you pay up. And then they get their cash lobbying. This is total speculation, by the way. It's just odd, isn't it? Isn't it odd? I think it's odd. I get red flags, and I think that everything's corrupt just based on how things have gone. I just have to assume. All right. We got an update from that moon lander mission, the moon landing mission. They were having issues orienting their aircraft yesterday, and apparently they have a critical fuel leak. So it looks like that mission's done. We'll see what they say, but pretty wild that we can't make it to the moon and that we haven't in so many decades. Maybe they'll try again. I mean, I don't know how that's the case. That boggles me. All right. I'm going to skip over some stuff, and I apologize, but I do this every day. It's because I have so much news here. I want to get to the good, the meat and gravy, which we're going to get into next. But just realize everything that I skip or things where you might be like, you want more information on, you want the links, you could, of course, ask me, and I could send it to you. And I don't mind doing that, but I do not catch everything. So you might just be waiting forever. You could go to my Substack in the description and find the links to everything I talk about and more. And so please subscribe to my Substack and enjoy that if you want all those links. And onward here. So I'm going to skip this. We might come back to it, but yeah, we probably will. But let's talk about Obama, the big Obamas. We got Barack, Barry, Hussein Obama, and then you got the other Obama. And it says here, Insider Paper reported this morning that Obama could be the next president of Harvard University. Barack is among the list of names touted to replace Claudine Gay, according to the Daily Mail. Just absurd. This is just, I wouldn't be surprised, but holy smokes, I was just noticing that story this morning. And then we have this video of Michelle Obama everybody's talking about. People are speculating, is she planning on becoming president? Let's see. Is she planning on becoming president? Is this going to work for me? It's the question as well. It appears not. But she was quoted as saying, what's going to happen in this next election? I am terrified about what could possibly happen. Government does everything for us. Yeah, and they want to keep it that way. The government's going to take care of you. Is Rumble not working, folks? Oh, Lord. I could fix it. I promise. Give me one moment as I fix this issue here. It's just going to take me 30 seconds. But yeah, I think that she very well could run for president. I do. And we shall just wait and see. But that very well could be the case. I can't believe that I screwed this up today. Let's see here. Good googly moogly. This is why I can't have a nice stream. Yeah, that's my fault. Let's see here. It's been quite the morning, I will say. There we go. Let's see if that gets us going, folks. Good God. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. My apologies. Let's wait for them. Let's wait for our rumblers to catch up. I think we're good. I apologize, Rumble. If you want to watch on Rumble, you could head over there. We're back, I think. Anyway, folks, the Obamas are in the news. Yeah, we're good. I apologize for that, Rumble. That's my I overlooked the stream today, but here we are, and we're going to continue. All you missed was a little bit of doom and gloom as it comes to the financial markets and the Obamas, but we're going to move on here to talk about this situation. Apparently, we've got a list of A-listers here. Davos A-listers. Insider Paper reported on this story. Blinken, Israel's Herzog, Argentina's Milei are among these Davos A-listers, and we're talking, or Davos, however you pronounce it. This is World Economic Forum, folks. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Israeli President Isaac Herzog, and Middle East leaders will attend the World Economic Forum in Davos next week, dominated by the war in Gaza, the World Economic Forum said Tuesday. Wow. Argentina's libertarian new president, Javier Milei, French President Macron, Chinese Premier Li Qiang will also be among the headliners at the January 15th to 19th meeting. This is where they plan the fate of the humanity and the world, and they believe they're privileged to do so. Anyway, holy smokes! So we've got this pretty interesting allegation coming out about Fani Willis as well. By the way, apparently she was, well, allegedly, they're saying she was sleeping with the special prosecutor that she appointed. It says here from Technofog on X.com that his earnings stemming from her appointment have paid, quote, for both of them to travel on both the Norwegian and Royal Caribbean cruise lines. Okay. So Technofog continues saying the special prosecutor has pocketed $1 million in legal fees. This is the biggest RICO case in Georgia history, and the special prosecutor has never tried a felony RICO case. So the corruption is just being exposed left and right. And these are just allegations, folks. So, don't go too crazy. But a lot of these things can sometimes surprise us as being true at the end. Absolutely. And Trump came out Michael Roman, Trump co-defendant Michael Roman, came out and filed a motion to have charges dismissed and have DA Fani Willis and the entire DA's office disqualified from further prosecution following revelations that Willis improperly hired her romantic partner to prosecute Trump. And I think Trump's and this is going to be another case of like Trump coming out and being full exoneration. It was all a scam. It always was. They're corrupt, they're crooked, the swamp runs deep, all this stuff. We'll keep our eye on it. Trump also came out and said that Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin should be fired immediately after the fiasco with him disappearing and nobody being aware, completely making the U.S. look like they're not communicating with themselves at all. Horrible situation. Let's get into the weird stuff, finally. There was a mass casualty event declared after an explosion at the Sandman Signature Hotel in downtown Fort Worth, Texas yesterday. And it was just a strange situation, and it was quickly attributed to gas leaks, gas explosion. And let's take a quick look at this. It says here that authorities and other law enforcement personnel are on the scene of a significant gas explosion at the Sandman Signature Hotel in downtown Fort Worth, Texas. Emergency responders have declared a mass casualty event. Incident. Noting windows blown out and a possible floor collapse in the interior, numerous witnesses have reported hearing the explosion miles away. Police are urging everyone to avoid the area. And the updates here. More footage coming out after the explosion. 11 people injured, 2 in serious condition, 1 critical. The ATF says the explosion at the Sandman Signature Hotel in Fort Worth, Texas, was caused by natural gas. Witnesses inside the hotel said they smelled something like paint burning before the explosion. Here is the aftermath in the streets in front of the hotel after this explosion. I mean, it seems like houses are exploding, hotels are exploding, and it's being it's being oftentimes attributed to gas leaks. Officials confirmed 21 people were injured from the gas explosion. And that's sort of where we're at now with this situation. And it's kind of just being overtaken by the other news because things are coming in so quick. I don't even know if everybody saw that this happened, but it did. Thank you. Thank you so much, Princess Lee 8, for the donation over there on DLive. I appreciate you. Thank you. Excuse me. Wow. So that's just, maybe it's just a gas leak and it happens. I know, but it's odd. And if anybody has more info or someone's digging on this and they're finding interesting information, please tag me on x.com or previously Twitter, obviously, and let me know. I'd be curious to see these things. This is that's a little strange. This gets really, really, really strange. And I absolutely need to share this with you guys. This is so weird. This is what I mean. Can Wonderland get any stranger? Riots erupt at Shabbat Lobovich headquarters after the New York Police Department moved to seal a secret tunnel discovered under the building. I saw this and I was just quite shocked. I'm like, is this real? This is, by the way, this source is the informationliberation.com, trying to put true information out there. Of course, in the pursuit for truth, it's kind of unfortunate that a lot of false information does get put out there, and a lot of people end up believing things that aren't true because of the continuous lies. But this kind of unfolded strangely. I mean, obviously the mainstream's not really talking about it, and it kind of unfolded on Twitter. And let's just look at this. There's a lot of video and there's a story here. So let's see what the heck is going on. I think there's more here. I don't know what is up, but chaos broke out at the Chabad Lobovich's headquarters in Crown Heights on Monday after the NYPD moved in to seal a newly discovered tunnel the Orthodox Jewish Hasidic dynasty built in secret under the synagogue. So that's the story. That's what they say. They built these tunnels under the synagogue. And there's a lot of video out there. Here's the police, and I think a branch just fell. Maybe not a branch, something. The wind is just monstrous right now. Here's how it all started. Bakaram ripped wooden panels to prevent a cement truck from sealing off the recently discovered tunnels. Then they went inside the tunnels and started to learn. The NYPD was immediately called. Whoa. So they were pulling off these panels. Oh my gosh, so there's like a tunnelway in the side of the building too, it looks like here, like a walkway. And it got pretty heated. Whoa. The Bakarim refused to leave the tunnels. Community leaders were also called to help defuse the situation. NYPD officer.
They know. Because there was a guy wanting to go out. They know. There was a guy wanting to go out. It says no. I want to clear the whole shoot.
Look at that. So this was behind what they were tearing down. And there's a tunnel here. Passageway. Interesting.
Oh, shoot. Why is that?
They want to fix this tonight. They need the shoot clear.
And to... Why? We need too expensive something.
Not like this. Not safe. We don't do that in America.
He says we want to clean this up. We don't do that in America. There was pushing and shoving in a tense situation. No arrests were made as of this tweet last night or yesterday afternoon at 3:42 p.m. Pacific time. Just such a strange situation. I am surprised to see this happen. 10 people arrested after a scuffle with the NYPD took place there. They covered it and then they were removing people from the tunnels. Unbelievable. This is just something else. And I think the story's a little fishy. The tunnels were dug illegally about 6 months ago. This is the narrative that was kind of put out in the beginning here. The tunnels were dug illegally about 6 months ago in an attempt to expand the iconic synagogue. Also, I heard that they dug it during COVID. So I've heard various things. The doors to 770 are now locked. Anyone still inside should leave immediately. Arrests continue inside 770 as NYPD officers continue to pull Bakarim from inside the tunnel. That was at 4:44 p.m. Pacific time. There's a secret entrance to the tunnels was going viral at about 5 p.m. Pacific time. And this is all from a TikTok account on Twitter. Here you have somebody climbing just through a steel grate behind a newspaper like little kiosk and then fleeing. What? Was this on anybody's bingo card for 2024 in Wonderland? I wonder how extensive these tunnels were. This is blowing my mind. I don't know. What? The scene outside 770 yesterday evening, we've got people getting walked out by the police in zip ties and handcuffs. Wow. So Stu Peters came out and was saying who's being forced to sleep on these mattresses. This was just creepy. They showed this soiled mattress being pulled out of the tunnels, which is very concerning and odd to say the least. Very concerning and odd. Another type of mattress being passed around as well. Just really odd. Yeah. Garbage Human says this image will haunt me for the rest of my life. Yeah, what the heck, man? This says here's an image taken from the scene. Why is this book covered in blood? maybe some kind of ritual or something. Who knows? But it does appear that the edges of that book are covered in a red substance, which if it were blood, I don't think it would be that red. So maybe it's just paint to look like blood, or maybe it is fresh blood. But I think that the blood would oxidize and become more brownish later. So I don't think that's fresh blood, but it is curious. Sam Parker tweeted on x.com, the synagogue with the tunnels and dirty mattress hidden in the wall was headed by Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the rabbi who blessed Netanyahu back in the 90s and asked him to hasten the process for the Messiah to arrive faster. Interesting. Shadow of Ezra, which, by the way, has put out just horrible information. So they're saying that this is footage, more footage from inside the tunnels. And I'm totally skeptical about all this stuff, from how it unfolded, the narrative at the beginning, the narrative now, which has changed miraculously. It's funny how that happens, although I guess things evolve as more info comes out. But let's just see what they're putting out here. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't know the validity of this. Okay, that's what I'm saying here. We've got stairwells going down, and I haven't even seen this video yet, I'll be honest with you. Just looks like some excavation work being done, a chair. I think this is the video where I saw a snapshot of this, which is there's a high chair here, or a not a high chair, a car seat, or like a child's chair. It's like, really? This is not a place for children. So the fact that there's a small mattress, that, people are saying this is allegedly from those tunnel systems. It's highly concerning. It really is. I mean, this needs to be investigated. And there's a tunnel there, very small. It looks like you'd have to hunch down and walk through, or maybe even, maybe not quite crawl. But those are the allegations. I do not trust this account personally, but interesting nonetheless. So, what the heck? If anybody has more information, please send it my way. I'd be interested to take a look. Wow. Left Maryland. So let's kind of see what the narrative is now. Elijah Schaefer posted this on X. He's noticing that the narrative changed. So he kind of went through a list here. Number 1, Daily Mail calls into question the narrative the tunnels were to expand the synagogue and cites no evidence. So we see a lot of speculation and a lot of false information out there when it comes to these stories. We have to be really careful, like with that video that I just showed you. I don't know if that's legit or what, I mean, it's hard to trace it back, find the origins. And anyway, so we got to be careful with what we're sharing. But Elijah says, number 2, Crown Heights records that the tunnels were dug 6 months ago, revealing they weren't used for travel during COVID, as originally reported that they were used during COVID to travel around the city. Number 3, there is a legal dispute over who even owns the building. This is interesting too, which is bizarre because it's difficult to place responsibility on anyone. Does nobody own the building? So, I mean, how convenient that it's debated on who even owns the building, right? Elijah Schaefer writes, I'm not saying I know the tunnels were used for anything nefarious. However, watching big names in media spread false info again to score points with their employers and colleagues without fact checking reminds me of October 7th, 9/11, COVID, etc. All the lies that were told. People mad at me for questioning the narratives, but I was correct each and every time. Need to dig deeper into this because the further I'm going, the more suspicious it gets. Crazy details here. Should I do a deep dive mini-sode on this? Yes, and I think, Elijah, you should do a little deep dive on that. Absolutely. And I hope he does. People will definitely be digging. Definitely needs more digging into. Yes. The digging, we must dig on the digging, figure out why they were digging, what is going on there. And video of these tunnels well, at least the part where they were coming out on the sidewalk. Videos coming out of that being sealed and welded shut. No one else will be popping out of that. At least that's the allegation here with this video. Dom Luker posted that. Seems to be legit. Oh, I didn't show you. Here we go. That's it. Seems to be legit. Just crazy. So that was just one of the crazy things that happened yesterday. Probably the craziest one. Just pretty remarkable, to say the least. Here's another one. I don't know. Could have just slipped by. An unauthorized vehicle crashed into the White House grounds gate yesterday. 3:38 p.m. Pacific time. Numerous law enforcement along with Secret Service personnel responded. I believe there was one arrest. The vehicle that crashed into the barrier, some kind of SUV. Yeah. Thing after thing after thing after thing. And we saw this explosion, a vehicle run into the White House gates. We see these tunnels. We see a lot of bad information coming out about the Ghislaine case. Bad information. When I say bad information, the Maxwell case, what I'm talking about is fake, false information or misleading information. And like I was listening to the local radio and a quick blurb of news came on. Just real quick, here's the news kind of thing. And the news for this channel is sourced from, like your standard poor news media or your legacy media, right? And they said, Trump was among the names inside the initial reports or the initial documentation from the case. And I went and looked a few days ago, and well, yeah, his name was in there, but it was basically saying it was in a line of questioning, and where the answers were that Trump wasn't involved is my understanding of it. But the way that they spin the headlines, which is really what matters and what largely fuels the public perception of what's actually going on. Gosh, I just lost that sentence got lost for me, but they utilize the headlines and they don't necessarily lie, right? That's not fake news. He was mentioned in there, but it's an attack on his character and it's misleading, and people draw conclusions from headlines and they don't go to the source. But there's more that they've just misled on as it comes to that case. And other things. And it's interesting. We see that case going on, and I think that's really important. I think that they don't want people to really see this stuff and know what's going on. And I think at the same time, we see this heavy occurrences of more information, more news stories developing. And I think this is a conspiracy part of me that goes wild. I think that it's a subtle manipulation of people. I think it has to do with, like the MK Ultra stuff and brainwashing. And I think that they push things to happen in times where they're trying to hide other information. They dilute the marketplace of information with more information so that less people could find out about certain stories. That's a theory there that I was thinking about yesterday. Just a theory. I don't know, you guys. Look, I don't know. It's just how I think things might be. Far left activists and pro-Hamas protesters are being targeted by an attorney, Ted Frank. He's going after him. After the protesters blocked the highway in Washington State, actually preventing a ambulance from reaching its destination and just causing the disturbance they did. He's going to start suing these protesters. He's not going after the state, city, or county at this time, Jonathan Cho writes on X, but he is going after these people. So that's interesting. The legal recourse being taken there. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a hard case for him, but I think that he might get it. Who knows what goes on there? Hopefully we find out more soon. Onward. The Biden administration is actively aiding and abetting illegal immigration because they are viewed as future voters. That's a quote from Elon Musk. Elon Musk said that on X.com, and boy, is he becoming a target. Elon Musk said this in response to a X post by Greg Abbott shedding light on the migrant buses from Texas and how they don't want to stop illegal immigration. Elon Musk, they're gonna go after him. They already are, and they lied about him in the media too. I don't know if you guys saw this last week, but the narrative going around was, or maybe over the weekend, but in the previous days, the narrative was about Elon Musk that, other executives at his companies were concerned because he parties and does drugs. And we've seen that narrative before, but it went through the headlines again, and it ran the gambit, and everyone's running with it that believes headlines and things, these allegations. Elon's fine. He's not a drug addict. Maybe they are concerned. Maybe it's not actually that issue. Oh, Elon Musk smoked pot with Joe Rogan. Oh my gosh, the devil's lettuce. He can't be trusted with a company. Get out of here, man. I mean, everybody and their grandmother is taking THC nowadays and getting the giggles and not committing any crimes or ruining anything. I mean, this allegation's ridiculous. They want you to think that Elon Musk is a crazy, unhinged drug user that's like a habitual partier. Are you kidding me? He works more than, anybody. Right? So it's just crazy that we see these misleading headlines and stories that go on. This war, this information war. Elon Musk came out and he's calling it as he sees it, man. He saw this fake information and he's really waking people up. He retweeted this data from Data Hazard and replied, he says, "It's interesting that the press would lie so loudly about this issue." And this is American births versus illegal immigrants. And Data Hazard said this. After Elon pinned this post to his profile, the disinformers at Washington Post and the Rolling Stone got to work attacking him for sharing my graph and raw government data. I don't know if they're lying or just incompetent, but they published blatant factual errors in these anti-Musk articles. This expanded version of the original graph will clearly demonstrate the two most egregious false claims. And they go through their false claims. False claim number 1, number of births has never been greater than the number of deaths, than the number of border encounters. Fact 1, number of births has always been greater than the number of encounters until September 2023. False claim number 2, many of those encounters led to people being expelled from the country. The fact is, literally 0 expulsions happened in any month where encounters exceeded births. So they're misleading, and they're trying to use data, and they're going after people like Musk and others who go against their narrative and their agenda. So we're going to keep seeing this. Absolutely. I think Musk has committed to the truth. He is not completely on board. Yeah, expulsions, please. Right, left, Maryland. Right, Maryland. And Musk went out and tweeted this, really making people aware of what is going on at the border. And Wokeness tweeted that Brian Silvas lives right near the border in San Diego. Every day, swarms of illegal invaders cross through his property. California sheriffs informed him that he is not even allowed to tell them to get off his property. Let me reshare this and we'll watch this quick clip. But he can't even tell them to leave his property. We've seen stories like this with people near the border.
I guess 19-something border.
This is the original
right here.
Border.
Uh-huh.
Old
And Border Patrol probably comes and does it. But look, I mean, it's an open door. You could go right through there. They usually just walk through. They don't care if I'm there. They walked through and asked me which way. I'm like, go that way. Keep going.
Wow.
But you can't tell them.
No, they told me I couldn't tell them to go back.
Can you tell them to get off your property?
Actually, they pretty basically told me no. I just gotta
And
let them
who's
come
they?
through. The sheriff.
We reached out to the San Diego County Sheriff's Department for comment, and they told me they sympathize with residents like Silvis, but they say there are hundreds of people seeking asylum who have been asked to remain in place by Customs and Border Protection, and they point to a California law that since 2018 has largely prohibited state and local law enforcement from assisting in enforcement of federal immigration laws. The department also said citing individuals for trespassing could scatter asylum seekers across local communities and complicate CBP efforts. Just an hour after we left Silvis's property, a wildlife camera we had set up at the location captured another group of migrants, much larger than the last, entering the U.S.
Oh my gosh. This is huge. I mean, not just this story itself, but the whole conglomeration of this invasion, essentially. A lot of people are attributing it as. And again, Elon Musk tweeted this in response to a post by ALX. Elon Musk responded. He basically said, the Wall Street Journal deserves... he said, quote, "The Wall Street Journal are a bunch of clowns that deserve no respect." And this is in response to the Wall Street Journal claims that Elon was on drugs and that whole BS narrative. We had a tornado warning yesterday in Atlanta, by the way, for over 600,000 people. And so they had quite the storm. Good news from California. An appeals court blocked a law signed by Governor Gavin Newsom to ban firearms in public places. God forbid we have firearms in public places. And of course they say, well, bad people are going to bring firearms into public places. Well, guess what? Good people are too. And that's the point. That's why we like the Second Amendment and why it's a good idea. Gun-free zones are targets for terrorists. Gun-free zones are targets for people with bad intentions and that want to hurt people because they know they won't be stopped. So that's good news from California. Wow. Maybe I wish there was enough good news from California to have the good news from California segment of the show, but it's few and far between. I don't think we could pull it off. All right, onward here. We've got Representative Clay Higgins. He has claimed that during an interview with Tucker Carlson that there were at least 200 FBI assets embedded in the crowd at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th with the objective of destroying the entire MAGA movement, which this has been speculated since that day. Even on that day, people were saying that that seems to be the case. And thank you to Tucker Carlson. He's got his new network. Maybe some of you are members. I know some of you are. He's putting out great content over there on the Tucker Carlson network, I think he calls it. So it's great. It's great. We'll keep watching his stuff because he's doing great interviews. He has great connections. He doesn't just say stuff. I mean, he really does go to sources, and he's great. Is Ray Epps being sued? Left Maryland says Ray Epps is being sued. Is that right? Thank you. Ray Epps sued by January 6th defendant for conspiracy. Lawsuit filed in Utah. Ray Epps acted under the color of law as a federal agent to deprive me of my constitutional rights. Ray Epps being secretly sentenced today. Secretly sentenced? Is this real? Fox News? No. Is that real? I don't know if that's real. I'll have to verify this. Is Ray Epps being sued? Ray Epps. He got a year of probation for his Capitol riot role. Oh, what? Ray Epps, the Associated Press. Ray Epps, a target of January 6th conspiracy theories, gets a year of probation for his Capitol riot role. A man targeted by right-wing conspiracy theories about the U.S. Capitol riot was sentenced on Tuesday to a year of probation for joining the January 6, 2021 attack by a mob of fellow Donald Trump supporters. Ray Epps, a former Arizona resident who was driven into hiding by death threats, pleaded guilty in September to a misdemeanor charge. He received no jail time, and there were no restrictions placed on his travel during his probation, but he will have to serve 100 hours of community service. He appeared remotely by video conference and wasn't in Washington, D.C., in the Washington, D.C. courtroom when Chief Judge James Boasberg sentenced him. Epps' sentencing took place in the same building where Trump was attending an appeals court hearing as the former president. Okay, I remember this. So federal prosecutors have backed up Epps' vehement denials that he was a government plant or FBI operative. They say Epps has never been a government employee or agent beyond serving in the U.S. Marines from 1979 to 1983. The ordeal has forced Epps and his wife to sell their property and businesses and flee their home in Queen Creek, Arizona, according to his lawyer. I don't know. Maybe he's being sued. Well, I'm back. I don't know if you all can hear me or what's up. Is my camera working? My camera's not working. Maybe it malfunctioned, but I'm back. Am I still live? I think I am still live. This is crazy. My power went out for a second. I apologize. And let me see. My camera doesn't want to work. Very interesting there. But yeah, we were talking about Ray Epps for a second. I'm going to have to probably call it a day. Let me just check my notes here. What else do we got going on? My goodness, am I live? I don't even know, but I'm going to try to wrap this up. Let's see here. I think I am. Let me know in the chat if I am pulling things up. My power went out for a second. You hear me? Thank you. Thank you, Remy. Wow. We have crazy windstorm over here on the West Coast. You're froze. Good now. Okay, well, let's see if I could get my camera up here. Give me 1 second. My goodness. This is crazy. All right. I had a feeling that would happen. Let's see. Can we connect? My camera might be broken. Wow. Let's see. What is this? Oh, wait. No, I think I might be okay. Here we go. No, maybe not. Forget about it. Let's go in. Let's get in here. So let's see. What else do we got going on, folks? We had this interesting story that Ecuador has declared a state of emergency yesterday because a narco boss escapes prison. A narco boss escaped prison. People are obviously making the connection. He's going to make his way over to the States probably, right? So funny. I mean, you can't make this stuff up all in one day that this goes down. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let me see the chat here. Thank you, Toad. Good God. So there we go. Just, drug lord on the loose. It's all good. Yesterday we had France's Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne resign, and we're seeing replacements come to fruition here. And onward here. I will be wrapping it up here in a sec. I think we got most of the things. There are other links here. Like, for instance, I have a video of a hot mic capturing people laughing and joking about Trump being assassinated, and just this horrible this video there, and different links on my Substack. You could find all the links to more stories, videos, and what I already discussed in my Substack in the description. You could find all of that on my website as well. If you're interested in chess and gaming, you could even challenge me and stuff. I'll be streaming on the weekends mostly, just a chess live stream. It's a very chill live stream, and I just play chess, and it's just a recreational channel over there on Twitch. If you want to find me, you could go to my website and follow me on Twitch. It's called The Vince Show 2024. So that's that. Thank you all for tuning in. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Rumble, really, I really botched it in the beginning, and then the power got kicked in the end, and now I hope I could fix my camera here. But that's it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Good to see you. And thank you, Forrest, for that kind donation over there on DLive, and everybody else. I appreciate it. And with that, everybody, take care. God bless and Godspeed.